Gloucestershire have really announced themselves as a threat this season as they followed up their victory over Essex last week with a 91-run LV County Championship win at leaders Lancashire to climb into the top two of the second division. Gloucestershire began the last day looking for quick runs but lost Peter Hanscom in the first over after he'd added a couple to his overnight 74. There was a stare or two at Hamish Marshall after Hanscom had been run out by Nathan Buck. Gloucestershire went into the morning with a lead of 230 and Geraint Jones showed what was required as he belted the second ball he faced down the ground for a 6. But he was out 3 balls later, this time failing to middle his shot and finding Elviro Peterson at long off. Simon Kerrigan should have also removed Kieran Noma Barnett, only for him to be dropped behind, a very rare error by Alex Davis this summer. Not that it mattered much as Gloucestershire continued to lose wickets. 8 shy of his 100, Marshall was bowled by a ball from Kyle Jarvis that kept low. It was the visitors who might have been encouraged by that, as their lead stood at 276 when Tom Smith was LBW to Kerrigan for 4. Craig Miles then drove Peter Siddle into the hands of sub-fielder Aaron Lilly in the gully after making 12. And when the Australian bagged his 7th wicket of the match by removing David Payne's middle stump, Gloucestershire declared on 275 for 9 after adding 69 in 23.5 overs, perhaps not quite as many as they would have liked. It left Lancashire 70 overs to chase down 300, a fair target and one which may have been seen as generous by some of the captains. But after Paul Horton had struck that early boundary, his partner Lewis Rees was legged before to Payne as the left-hander's bad run of form continued. Even better for the visitors was when Horton edged a drive off Miles behind and Lancashire went to lunch with some concerns on 11 for 2, 22 balls into their chase. Things got even better for the Gloucesters on the restart. Miles got the big wicket of Ashwell Prince who nicked behind after making 2. And then having been dropped, Stephen Croft was out for a single as Payne found the edge of his bat, a wicket which left Lancashire in real trouble on 22 for 4. A couple more wickets now and they would have been a long way to recording their second successive win on the road after defeating Essex last week. Their new coaching duo of Richard Dawson and Ian Harvey, 2 players with a history at Champions Yorkshire behind them, as well as in the West Country, clearly done a cracking job. What they needed now was to get rid of Peterson. He was just about keeping his side in this. Jones's declaration had given his hosts a reachable target, and the way Davis attacked Smith, these hits both carrying the distance, it looked as if Lancashire had not given up winning this game themselves in spite of their poor start. The game was beginning to turn in the home side's favour, with both these batsmen making 50s. Peterson's arrived off his 71st ball with his 7th boundary, the South African looking in excellent touch. Davis reached his half-century, his 3rd from 6 championship innings this summer off 70 deliveries. As well as striking 3 big 6s, he'd also hit 2 4s, and with this partnership growing at a pace, Gloucestershire must have been getting nervous. Jones tried everything he could to break this stand, which was to add 118 runs in 24 overs. Peterson and Davis had nearly knocked off half of the runs required as tea approached, and they would have started to really believe that a 3rd win from 4 this summer was a possibility. But the game changed right on the stroke of tea when Davis pulled to Marshall to go for 58 to change all the plans during the tea break. Yet Lancashire were still going for it when play resumed. Peterson was also out attacking, driving Mills to Hanscom in the covers after making 63 of a score of 148 for 6. Surely Lancashire's chances are gone when 5 overs later, Siddle tried to shovel this ball from Liam Norwell, only to top edge to Gareth Roderick. Now on 165 for 7 with 30 overs remaining, Lancashire had again seen their opponents emerge as favourites. But hang on, there was no sign of blocking this game out. Smith would have hoped for much more on a last day pitch, but his 8 overs went for 71 runs. Buck joining Jordan Clark in smashing the spinner out of the ground. The home team were not going down without a fight, Clark and Buck bringing the target down to double figures. But when Norwell had Buck nicking behind after making 17, the writing was on the wall for the second division leaders. 6 balls later, and Clark on 34 was also on his way as he was trapped in front by Miles. and the same bowler then won the game for his team with a peach to bowl Carrigan for a duck. Gloucestershire had been made to wait for half a dozen overs by the last pair, but they had done it, a result which will again cause a few murmurs from other second-tier teams. Gloucestershire took this game by 91 runs to take 22 points, 15 more than their hosts, the two now sitting in the top two places in the table with 8 points separating them. Jones now welcomes his former team Kent to Bristol from next Monday, while Lancashire head to Leicestershire on Sunday.